number 12 Utah at number 14 Oklahoma State, 4 p.m. Eastern time on Fox. The storyline for this game is pretty simple. The winner of this game is the new favorite in the Big 12. Right now, Utah and Oklahoma State are two of the three Big 12 teams that are currently in the top 15 of the AP poll. They, as I said before, Utah number 12, Oklahoma State number 14, and Kansas State is sandwiched right between them. We'll get to the Wildcats in a little bit. They're number 13, though. Right now, Utah, the current betting favorite to win the conference at plus 250, and the Cowboys are third at plus 475, according to DraftKings Sportsbook. So, really, the winner of this game is pretty much guaranteed to be the highest-ranked team in the new AP poll that comes out, and the new favorite to win the conference, while the loser of this game will suffer kind of a major setback in what's the most wide-open Power 4 conference right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's so much competition at the top, and the fact that in the first real conference week, I know we had K-State and Arizona last week, but it was a non-conference game, and even Utah had the same thing with Baylor. Now, I mean, I'll tell you what, they're not warming us up at all. They're just digging right in. Let's just send Utah to Stillwater for the first conference game and let it rip. I mean, this may be the most unpredictable game of this whole slate, because you've got two teams that they're riding some kind of ambiguous things right now. Cam Rising with his injuries, and Oklahoma State certainly has not looked perfect, even though they're undefeated. And then you know how it is. Every year there's 2 or 3 games in Stillwater where it's a circus. Just weird. Weird things happen. Yeah, I mean it's and I think Utah last year had big home road splits. Right, they handled their first road assignment pretty good without Cam Rising last week at Utah State. Struggled in the first half, but it's a weird one. This is a weird game, and I think there's so many different dimensions to it that I mean, to start off Big 12 play with this is with really not a whole lot of data with either team against big time teams. There's a lot of different ways this could go.
And Dawn, you have the Oklahoma State offense in this game. It's been kind of surprising how the Cowboys have looked offensively, and they're kind of relying on a different player than we would have thought entering the year. So tell us more about the Cowboys offense.
It's maybe the weirdest study that we've had for any offense so far, because obviously, when we came into the year, we thought the Doak Walker winner, Ollie Gordon, was going to just propel this team as far as he could take them, right? And that's not the case. Right now, 69.5 rushing grade, 3.2 yards per carry, and he does not have a run longer than 12 yards this year. He does not have a single 15-plus yard run where I believe, did he lead the nation in them last year?
Yeah, he did.
He led the nation in them last year, and through 3 games, he doesn't have a single one, just 12 yards. He's getting stopped at or just before the line of scrimmage a lot. Defenses are penetrating and making him stutter behind the line of scrimmage. And you mentioned it about last year's team, and it's a little bit better this year, but not significantly, about their run blocking. Too much penetration happening and too much allowing Gordon to stop his feet, right? And I think we used to see something like this. Remember the days of like the Tennessee Titans when Chris Johnson used to have days where it was like 10 carries and 20 yards.
Yeah.
This is what used to happen: is make him stop his feet, don't let him get to full speed, right? And then just rally to tackle. Right now, their run game is not what's carrying them. It's Alan Bowman in the passing game.
Yeah.
And look, he's been good. He was really good late in the game against Arkansas. And their receivers, Dejon Stribling, Rashad Owens, Brennan Presley, that's the core of this offense right now, is the quick passing game and Alan Bowman getting the ball out. And by the way, we get a matchup of 2 7th-year quarterbacks.
Real quick, did you see the stat? So this weekend, we have Caleb Williams and the Bears against the Colts. Their combined age is 44 years old because they're both 22. This game, Dalton, between Alan Bowman and Cam Rising, the combined age is 49 years old.
Yeah, what is it? Rising's 25 and Bowman's 24. Yeah. I mean, they've certainly there's no lack of experience in this game, and Bowman's certainly been plenty of places also. But this is just where we're at right now with Oklahoma State's offense. Until they get Ollie Gordon going, it's Alan Bowman and these receivers making things happen. And Bowman, look, last year had the 13th fastest time to throw in the FBS. This year, that's up to 8th, I believe it's 2.27 seconds that I saw. He gets rid of the football quickly, but that doesn't stop him from making big throws. He will chuck go balls down the sideline until it works. So Presley's really good in the slot after the catch. Stribling and Owens have good size, both at 6'2". They can make some contested catches. He'll chuck the ball deep to him. But right now, I think the matchup I have to look for, unless we see Ollie Gordon get it rolling more than he has the first 3 games, It's those three receivers against three talented corners for Utah. You have Zamiah Vaughn, Elijah Davis, and Smith Snowden. Look, since the start of last year, Utah, they have the 12th best EPA per pass allowed in the Power 5 on throws under 2.5 seconds. They play single high, they get in your grill, and they don't let you have easy throws.
Yep.
So if they don't make easy throws and quick throws available to Bowman early in this game, and Gordon's not working, then I'm not exactly sure where Oklahoma State goes on offense, because this was not a team designed to win with the passing game primarily, right? It was supposed to be Gordon and then the passing game supporting it, not the other way around. So they either have to get Gordon going, or Bowman's going to have to really play at a special level in this game to win.
It doesn't look like Gordon's just like missing a step from last year a little bit.
Laterally, yes.
Yeah.
I think the straight line speed is still there, but what I'm seeing is that when his feet stop like around the line of scrimmage, everything just stops. And teams are rallying, and I'm not sure if they need to take more shots early or need. It's hard to say, because there's something about it that looks different. I don't think they're doing anything different schematically. They're running the same schemes. There's nothing different than that. Something looks just a half step off, and he's stopping his feet, and he's just not quite getting started again once he stops them.
Yeah, and Dalton, on the other side of the ball, mine's pretty simple, honestly. Okay, can Cam Rising, is he healthy enough to take advantage of a vulnerable Oklahoma State defense? Because this past week, he missed the game against Utah State with an injury to his ring finger on his throwing hand. Apparently, he needed stitches on his ring finger on his throwing hand. Dorian Singer, one of Utah's best receivers, said that Rising will play this week against Oklahoma State, although it is unknown how much this injury will affect him. And if Rising is at or even close to 100%, Utah could take advantage of what's been a subpar pass defense for the Cowboys. They're right now the 6th worst Power 4 team in coverage grade at a 60.6, and they've allowed 7.6 yards per pass. That's the 10th most among Power 4 teams this year. So Utah's ground game hasn't really been great so far this year. They kind of really have relied on the passing game. And really, it comes down to, is Rising healthy enough to take advantage of this? And if not, and if they have to rely on the run game, then I think Oklahoma State has an advantage defensively in this game. So I think, honestly, this game, for me, at least in my prediction, it came down to whether or not I think Cam Rising is healthy enough. If he is, I think Utah's going to win this game. If not, I think Oklahoma State's going to pull it off.
Yeah, I agree. And look, Micah Bernard's been good in their run game, but the most dangerous players in this offense are Cam Rising and Brant Kuithe, right? And those are the guys this is going to run through. They've got some talented pass catchers. They got a couple of talented backs, but they need Rising and Kuithe to be healthy, and that's why those two guys are the reason they were considered the Big 12 favorites. So you're absolutely right. And honestly, my prediction, I'm going to make the assumption that if he's healthy enough to play, he's healthy enough to be something that looks like Cam Rising. A big problem for me in this game also, on top of Oklahoma State's offense being kind of weird and backwards, is Colin Oliver being out. And they moved him back to the edge, and he was by far their best pass rusher. To not have him on this defense is a real problem. And the more I kind of went into this game thinking I was going to pick Oklahoma State, and I just, if they don't get Ollie going and Colin Oliver's out, and we've kind of seen, especially even in the run game, we saw their defense looked against Arkansas. They should not have won that game. They got statistically dominated against Arkansas, and there's just something that made me uncomfortable about if I was going to pick Oklahoma State in this. So I have Utah 30-26. I still think it could be an absolute circus. You know these games in Stillwater go. These are two of the best coaches in the country, by the way, too. Whittingham and Gundy. I mean, they just always – these are two coaches that get their teams always to play above their talent level. But I think there's a lot of challenges for Oklahoma State in this game. And if it just comes down to Alan Bowman has to be special to win this game and maybe their biggest game of the year, for me, that's hard to bet on. Yeah. I just can't do it. And he's been good. It's not that he hasn't been good. He was decent last year. I think he's been good, and he won him the Arkansas game, and he's got him to 3-0 and without much of a running game. But I think the time is ticking on that. They have to get Ollie Gordon going, and if he's going to play like he's been playing the first 3 games, I have to pick Utah.
It also just feels like if Ollie Gordon's going to get it going, it's not going to be against Utah, right? Utah's defense, how well coached they are. It's not like they're not going to be a defense.
I think even with his struggles, if you're Kyle Whittingham, you still load the box and stop him.
Easily.
You make sure this is not the week. Okay, if Alan Bowman beats me in my corners and my good group of corners,
fine.
Then he got us.
Yeah.
You still can't, even though he's struggling, don't poke the bear.
Yeah.
Don't let him wake up against you, because 200 yards can come at any time, and you don't want it to be this week.
And then wasn't it the fourth game of the year where Ali first started breaking out, right? Wasn't the first 3 games?
So it's Ollie's season now?
Now
it's Ollie's season?
He just doesn't exist in the first 3 games, honestly. So I think that's what happens. But no, I think I'm with you. I think Utah's going to win this game. I have 28-27, and the reason why I have it at 1 point game, Dawn, I have zero idea what Cam Rising looks like. That is a tough injury to have for a quarterback on your ring finger, on your throwing hand. And again, if that injury significantly affects his passing ability, I think Oklahoma State's going to win this game. But if not, I think the Utes are going to pull out the game. So that's why I have it as a 1 point game, because I just truly don't know what that health is like for Cam Rising. And also, since Stillwater, we know how drunk games get there. We saw the Arkansas game already that screwed me over in my upset pick. So I'm really looking forward to this game, and I think it's going to be coming down to the wire, honestly. I think it's going to be one of the best games of the entire weekend.